Mm. You want to read it? You want to read the FanDuel thing?
Nah.
All right, guys. This is West Virginia Live at the Voice of College Football, presented by FanDuel. So, it was a big day yesterday. Bubba did a pick, my buddy Bubba, and it was he put $10 down. And if the Patriots and the Seahawks scored both a rushing and a passing touchdown in each of the halves, both teams, he could have won $2,000. But if that didn't happen, it was a field goal fest and a snooze fest. But once again, college football is the most entertaining football out there. I mean, high school is pretty good, but I mean, bang for your buck, that national championship, tear that Indiana made was classic. So let's go to the chat, see who we have in here. Leo. Hey Leo, how you doing, brother? Eric, did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did. I think the name was a little excessive. Thought it was the Mediocre Bowl. I saw some memes today where somebody, it was like a Scooby Doo kind of thing where they pulled the disguise off the villain, and the original image was the Super Bowl. They pulled the disguise off, and no, it's Thursday night NFL football. Yeah, that was my impression of the game.
You dastardly kids! I would have got away with it if it wasn't for that damn dog. Kenny Evans is asking, how much did West Virginia spend this year? Did they save like last year? No, they took money that they had last year, put it towards this year, all in. Let's see what we can do. Ride or die with Rich Rod. We're gonna have a good show tonight. We're gonna do things a little bit different because the Super Bowl was last night. There has been a number of Mountaineers who have played in a Super Bowl and won Super Bowls. There's even been a couple Super Bowl MVPs. We're going to talk about that. We're going to chat a little bit about a few guys that they got to sign. I think it was Thursday or Friday. And then just kind of the pulse of where we think the Mountaineers are. And to close the show, we're going to talk about the basketball team. Got to talk about the basketball team. They're sniffing at the bubble. Defense is number 3 in the nation. So we'll talk about all that. But Eric, I was going to ask you. I mean, are you ready for spring? Because I think it's not far around the corner. It has to be. It's been a cold snap.
I don't know anybody who's going to say they want more winter. Not after this one. This has been a good winter if you're into such things. But yeah,
yes, it's not like more cowbell where you can't have enough cowbell. It's just with winter there's a certain point. I do enjoy watching the Olympics, the Winter Olympics. I watched a little bit of women's hockey today while I was working. Was just glad to listen in the distance. It's just a great time of year that it's usually a lull, but the Olympic events that they have, like the biathlon, curling. I still haven't figured that out, but but no, Eric. So let's talk about West Virginia Mountaineers in the Super Bowl. There were a few. Let's go back with the way back machine. The first guy that I could think of that was an actual Super Bowl West Virginia superhero was the Cowboys' Chuck Howley.
Yes, sir. Now, you kind of stolen the thunder of the moment, but yeah, give us the story here because this is one that most folks aren't going to be familiar with because, like you said, it didn't happen yesterday. Most folks aren't going to be familiar with the name Chuck Howley and West Virginia football.
I'll just say what I know, and then you can fill in if I miss anything. But in 1958, I think the Chicago Bears drafted him, and he was a defensive stud. He played for the Cowboys for a decade, maybe more, and he played in 2 Super Bowls. And this is pre-Super Bowl era, so this is championship. So then he actually was named the Super Bowl MVP in Super Bowl 5. He intercepted 2 passes, had a forced fumble in that game. And the Cowboys lost the Colts that year, but he still won an MVP. The following year, Dallas won the championship, but that year that he was MVP, they lost. Is that what you have?
Buddy, you killed it. I mean, you absolutely killed it. But here, I'm gonna ask you a question. What
Shoot.
was the unique distinction of him winning the Super Bowl MVP that year?
Because they were on a losing team. I think that's the only time that's ever happened.
Only time it's ever happened in the NFL history. That's a big deal.
That's crazy. Yeah, you have to have quite a performance if it was such an impressive feat that you lost despite your efforts, but your efforts were so, fantastic that we're gonna give you the trophy. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Absolutely.
the next guy, man, I think he was.
So
I
so
think it
let
was the,
let's
go ahead.
let's do something different here because I think I know who
Shoot.
you're going to talk about.
Okay,
But
go.
let's
You
see
go.
if the folks in the chat can guess
Oh yeah.
this.
Okay.
So chat folks, uh, Shane gave us a great presentation on one of our early Mountaineers who did great things in the Super Bowl. Let's talk about another. Who Who was the first NFL player to return a kickoff for a
Ooh,
touchdown in
I
Super
don't know
Bowl
this one.
history?
I don't
Here's
know
a
this one.
clue. He was a Mountaineer.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. What
Well, let's
team
give
did he
him
play
time.
for? Yeah.
I believe he played for the Dolphins.
Oh wow, this is gonna be a
Laces
good one.
out. Laces
This is
out. We need some background music. I think we've given folks enough time without letting them use their Google. The answer would be one Mr. Fulton Walker.
Oh, Joey Foster had a good one. James Jett. James Jett was an
Ah, good
Olympian.
guess.
That was a good
Good
guess,
guess.
Joey. Joey, we miss you. Hopefully you're doing well. Give me a call sometime, Joey. I'd love to chat with you. But so next on the list, I have. Let me see here. Got my list here.
Well,
Get my
can I,
Sharpie.
I can I add a few things there for Fulton's performance?
Yeah, do it.
Because that in itself is unique. Now he didn't win an MVP, but he set two Super Bowl records in that performance. He returned four kicks for 190 yards. That in itself is a crazy, crazy stat. Also set the record for yards per return at 47 and a half. Now I haven't done the math, but I'm going to assume that the folks on the Google got it right.
I hope they did. Boy, I'll tell you what. You really have to go back to the Wayback Machine for this name. When I say Walt Easley, he played in the late 70s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in 81, he was a major offensive contributor to that Super Bowl championship. And he played for the 49ers for those two seasons. So that is one that I'll have to do some more research because when I read that name, I'm thinking, oh yeah, but going back in the 70s, that's before my time for as far as watching the Mountaineers. But he played for Kurt Cignety's dad. So
Yeah.
Frank.
That's right. That would have been that time.
Yeah, yeah. Here's one. Used to have a bagel shop in Morgantown. So 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl MVP,
Oh. I
1
got
Jeff
you.
Hostetler. Yeah, that's
There we
it.
go.
Jeff Hostetler. So he played with the Giants, took over the job after Phil Simms broke his foot, and he was sensational. But the second year, he was benched. He was so good, he was benched. We still can't figure that out. Now Phil Simms looks like an elderly woman on the NFL, or I don't know what CBS. He on CBS, but he didn't age well. Where Jeff still looks like a giant slice of Viking. He looks like a giant Viking with that chin
I
and that mustache.
I run into Jeff now and then, and every time I see him, I'm thinking, when is he going to start aging?
Yeah, he's like half vampire or something. It's like
I
Fright
think.
Night. Yeah, must be all the
So
bagels he sold back in the day.
now, did you mention? Because I apologize, I kind of was moving on to other things. Did you mention what his unique distinction was for that Super Bowl win?
No, do tell us.
Did you? I don't know if you'd mentioned that he was the MVP in that
Yes,
win.
in the first Super Bowl, he was the MVP. The second one, he didn't appear in it, I don't think.
Yep.
So
Now, if you remember that game, something that was one of the most impressive plays he had in that game was him getting sacked for a safety. I don't know if you remember that.
oh no, I forgot about that. That was 1986, I think. Is that
Yeah,
when the Giants won the Super Bowl that year? Yeah. So
I
he
think it
has
was
two rings
86.
though. He has two
Yeah.
rings. That's impressive. Now moving on. Mike Fox, not Scotty Fox, guys. We're talking about Mike Fox. A few years later, I think he was taken in the second or third round, the '90 draft by the Giants, and also played with Giants. Uh, he was a defensive lineman, Mike Fox, wasn't he?
Yes, sir.
He played 5 years for the Giants and then 4 years
Mm-hmm.
for the Panthers. And just I think this past year, let me look. Yeah, he was inducted in the West Virginia Sports Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Another Super Bowl appearance by that cat. So
I believe he played on that team with Jeff.
maybe I don't
I
know. I
think they
think
were. I think they were there at the same time.
maybe a year later, like right around
Yeah.
that time frame, because he was drafted in
Okay.
'90. So and now here's a name that this is more recent. Okay, and this guy played with Tom Brady, so he has a few rings. Mike Compton, drafted by the Lions, spent a lot of time there, but finished his career with the Pats. So his final years were the beginning of the Tom Brady era of football. So he has two rings, two Super Bowl rings. I think that's pretty much the standard for a lot of these guys to get the rings. They have two. Like, Jeff Hostetler, Mike Compton both have two rings. That's good to see. Uh, is there anybody that I think there's a couple that I'm missing? Let me see on my list here. Oh
Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
there's so many more. Uh, Alboyd Mays, he was a Redskin. He was on the 88 team that went to the national championship and lost. And then he went to the Oilers and then later the Redskins. And I think that was the team that beat the Bills.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Yeah, that was it. So in the Super Bowl, he had 2 tackles and a sack. So, now this next one, because he played in Pittsburgh, it's not Amos Zaraway. Amos Zaraway didn't go to a Super Bowl with the Steelers, but Mike Logan did. And we, the age that I am, and I know maybe that you, Eric, remember Mike Logan as just a force to be reckoned with when he played for the Steelers.
Oh yeah.
And he started like 3 years for the Mountaineers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Logan in college had 8 interceptions in like 40 games. That's something. It's fantastic. He was drafted in 97 by the Jaguars. He spent his first couple years with those guys, I think 4 years. Then he signed with the Steelers in 01 and finished out his career there for 4 years. His last year, he played in the Super Bowl with Jerome Bettis and company, and they beat Seattle to win the title in Super Bowl 40, I think it was. So, Mike Logan, guys, one of my favorite guys on this list. Eric, KJ Harris. I did not know he played in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. With 2 seasons for the Mountaineers, he was had over 1,000 yards, like maybe 900 one year and like 700 another. But he was a great running back for the Mountaineers. But he was on the practice squad. That's probably why it didn't really. But guys in the practice squad still get rings. They might be a little different, but they still get rings. This guy, edge rusher. I'll tell you what, guys. If we could get a guy that fills the shoes of Bruce Irwin these next couple years, and I think we might have a couple of guys that might be that talented. This is one of the first big moves from a junior college that we had, as far as getting a guy that has a lot of experience. Now, in 2012, he was drafted by the Seahawks. And then just, the next year, they went to the Super Bowl and they won. So Bruce Irwin, another one. Now, I think we just have a few more left, and I think they're all Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm.
Yeah, I have one, two, three. Three of these guys are Eagles, all played around the same time.
Let me
Wendell
guess one.
Small. Yeah, go ahead. Guess one.
Nope, that was the guy, Wendell Smallwood.
Wendell Smallwood, Shelton Gibson, Rasul Douglas, all were Mount. Just think of that: being a Mountaineer, going to a team with two or three of your other teammates. Now, and Najee Good was on there too, so 4 guys. That had to be an experience, you know. So Najee Good, Rasul Douglas, and then Wendell Smallwood, and they were all on that Eagles team
Mm-hmm.
in 2017 or 18 that won. That's something else right there. Last one I have, I think, is Keith Tandy, Tampa Bay
Mm-hmm.
Bucks. In 2020, he start coaching, you know, and then the team won the Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs. So he won it as a coach. Now,
I did not know that.
yeah, I threw that little in there just for some fun. Let's go to the chat. Say hello to Leo. Oh, okay. We're going to talk about that later in the show, of course. We sprinkle a little bit of the basketball crumbs on the show at the very end, because this is the Voice of College Football West Virginia Live channel, baby. Now, I have a question for you. Here we go. Jersey era. Haas played in a 91 Super Bowl. Yes, 91 Super Bowl. So he did play on that team. That's right, the 91 Super Bowl. 90 and 91, I think, were the 2 years he played. Wasn't it? Jersey year? Jersey year got a new thumb. It looks really good. Jersey year, guys, if you don't know, Jersey year has a channel, and it is fantastic. He's very knowledgeable, and he posts his, I think, two or three shows a week. So check him out. Let's see what else. What Kenny? Any more recruits West Virginia going after? So that's what we're going to hit up right now. So there were 4 guys that West Virginia sealed the deal with. Now, West Virginia finished with the top 25 class. So only BYU and Texas Tech did better in the Big 12. With that being said, if you would have told Eric or I 2-3 years ago that West Virginia would be 23rd ranked class in college football, you would say, hey, that can't be right. But this is the first full recruiting cycle for Rich Rod and company. And they have pulled some, it's like playing spades, and someone just keeps getting great cards, and you're just like, how the hell is that happening? West Virginia did that. They're paying these guys handsomely. I think their sales pitch is, hey guys, come to this program. We're a winning program. You're key piece. You could play, and I think they structure these NIL packages that are competitive, so that there's some meat at the end for performance. Ren Baker, can't say enough about him in the past, 3 or 4 years. He's really had to earn his paycheck by going out and get a replacement for Huggins. He had to get 3 or 4 coaches in that small little bit of time.
The women's coach, I think, twice.
Yeah, that's right. And then the guys on this list, guys, are not like we're settling. You got Amari Latimer, you got Matt Sig, you got Kevin Brown. If you would have scored one of those guys, we would have been just like a pig in shit. We'd been happy. But with that, our buddy Brian Josniak, they say that this Camden Goforth is like Brian-esque. So we'll have to see. But they got a corner as a true freshman that probably could play in Vincent Smith. That Cameron Dreyer is a fast dude that could see some live action. Then we got the transfers at quarterback, running back. Was running back stacked with Chris Talley. Eric, tell chat what you told me right before the show about Chris Talley.
I have to admit I'm not knowledgeable on this young man, but ESPN, I believe it was reported. Mountaineer Paul, who's another guy who has a great channel, does a great
Yep.
job, just like Jersey Ear. He was saying that ESPN had identified Talley as one of the top 3 running backs coming into college football from high school ranks. And to be honest with you, I had no idea. That is crazy high praise. So we're going to have to do some research on him because we've brought in other running backs that everybody seems to think these guys can make a difference. But if this is true about Talley, we were talking in one of the previous episodes about freshmen that could come in and actually play next year, have an impact on the field. If this is the case, add one more.
We were talking. We're kind of concerned about linebacker, and over the weekend they kind of penned these kids put pen to paper. They made it official. Peter Nataro, the kid from Alabama, the kicker, that is just just kicks lasers. This guy signed, so we have him now. I guess he'll compete with this Jack Cassidy kid that we have, and then Nate Flower. But Ricky Giles, a safety, we got him, and we got another safety in Cameron Reddick. Reddick seems to be, they're both very athletic, very capable guys. But Giles has been in Morgantown for a few weeks now, and I it's good to see that he's actually like signed on the dotted line. I was getting concerned there, but Cameron Reddick, man, last year he was all over the field. But is it going to be him? Is it going to be Matt Sig? Who's going to play there? I don't know. But got another one. And then to close it out, Jason Hall Jr., the Villanova transfer, the big linebacker, is coming in, and he's played some decent ball, even though it's been at Villanova. So he's really, really, really good ball player. Guys, I sound like a broken record, but like every guy's the best thing since sliced bread. But this is the case. This is the West Virginia has a top, not 25, but 23 recruiting class.
Let me interject and jump in on that. Folks are probably tired of hearing us say things like year zero, and then we said, okay, it's year one, and you can understand why we've been saying that. Last year's team, they played, as hard as they could, gave us a couple good wins, a couple exciting wins, but when you look at the difference in last year's team, that roster versus this year's, you can understand why we're saying this is year one. And it's going to be exciting to see what we can, what Rich and company can do with this roster.
Yeah, I tell you what, I mean, I'm talking myself into getting season tickets, even though I'm probably going to go to 1 or 2 games. But for crying out loud, how can you not buy into this? I mean, it's very exciting what Rich Rod's bringing, and I haven't heard anything on the April blue and gold game. I don't know how they're going to slice that pie. Every week it looks different, or every year it's looked different. Since what 2023, since COVID almost. Like they've kind of changed the way they do business.
Well, they've had to, because we've had to worry about tampering. Now, the nice thing is I think they tried to address that by only having the one transfer portal. So that eliminated the spring one that happened after the spring game. But this year, I'm hearing rumors that we might not have a spring game. I'm hearing that what they're going to do is they're just going to spray water on the field, and we're going to turn it into a hockey game.
Yeah, with it being as cold as it is, that might be it. But the question is, still, guys, is it going to be Michael Hawkins or Scotty Fox? Second question is, that I want to know is which one of these stud running backs is going to be the premier guy? Who's going to be? It's like it's like jewelry, man. Like we got to have that centerpiece. In that running back position, is it Amari Latimer, Boswell, Talley? I mean, Sir Paul Cheeks? I don't know. I mean, and then of course, we know the offensive line is going to improve, but of course, we got some lankier, taller, rangier guys in the secondary, but those are some major questions that we're going to be asking and trying to answer. We don't know. I mean, the secondary has 4 guys that are over 6'2", 6'3".
Mm-hmm.
So just with that, they should be able to cover a little bit. I mean, we talk about it all the time within basketball, those long arms taking up space. And but with that, Eric, are the Mountaineers in basketball still a bubble team after that loss last night or yesterday afternoon?
I think right now we're the first 4 out.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. It's a situation where the coach did a wonderful, wonderful job with what he has. And you were spot on before the show. The defense is so stingy and so good that I think they run out of legs and they don't have enough ass to shoot. And that's why they're streaky. Yeah.
I agree with you. That's what happens. Once the legs go, so does the outside shot. And we were saying, before the game, who do we need to have in double-digit figures every game?
Oh, well, yeah. There's 2 guys. Yep. 2. Well, they're yeah.
Honor Huff and Trey Eaglestaff.
Yeah,
And we're not seeing that.
And some of the guys off the bench are doing a great job in the defense, but the defense has been. I kind of it was sneaky the way they play defense, because I was like, oh, they're in the game. They kept this team within 50 points for the whole game, or 60 points. And then you see the next game that team plays and it's like they score 80 or 90. You're like, whoa, West Virginia's holding these teams to under 60 or 70 points. And I didn't realize until I read yesterday that they were the 3rd best in all of college basketball, the 3rd best defense, the stingiest defense. If the shooting just kind of heats up a little bit, they could make a little bit of a run in the Big 12 tournament, maybe get into the maybe burst the bubble and get in. But they're fun to watch, and they're not getting the snot kicked out of them. It's competitive. Even though they're 8 points behind, they might hit a tear like they did at this last game, where they got within 3 or 4. And of course, Texas Tech can hit it from the outside, make those threes too, and then once again you're down 8. But
and something we should mention. You said that we're holding these teams to 60 or 70. It's one thing to say that as just a general factoid, but look at who you're holding to 60 or 70. This is the Big 12. This is by far the best conference in the country. You've got Arizona, which by all estimations has 4 professional players starting for them, maybe 5, 4 of which will definitely go to the NBA. That's crazy. And normally you might have a really good team. You probably have 1, maybe 2. But it's insane the level of talent Arizona has. Texas Tech is right behind them. And you're holding, teams of this kind of caliber. I mean, this is some outstanding defense. Like you said, it's kind of sneaky that we're that good because we're not making the headlines because we're not getting the wins.
No, you're right. Guys, before we go, I want to mention FanDuel has a promo code. Bet 5, get 20 in bonus bets. Guys, it's a fun way to, spend a few bucks and just maybe, if you buy scratch offs, don't do that. Go download the app, spend $5. 5 will get you 200 in bonus bets, and it's a hell of a lot more fun, a lot more entertaining, and you have a better chance of winning. So with that, Eric, it's been a short show because of the way the season's playing out. Guys, I want to just thank everybody for watching. This is the Voice of College Football's West Virginia live show. We are here every Monday at 9. and of course, every Thursday at 8. Well, 8 o'clock on Thursday is the call-in show. So if you want to call in and maybe ask a couple questions or be part of the show, well, feel free. We'll allow you to do that. Eric, anything for the betterment of the group before we say goodnight?
Nothing. Just appreciate the chat. We got a lot of things that are going to be shaping up between now and September. Let's watch closely and see what happens.
All right, guys, I want to say good night as we let the great state of West Virginia's state flag do the talking for us. Good night. Good night, Eric. Good night, chat.